really know how patient of a person you are until you have kids. More than one. You have more than one, and they're both under the age of 5. That's when you that's when you discover just how many patients you actually have. Gustavo, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Vicky, good morning. Air E All Media, good morning. We're practicing patience this morning. We are practicing our patience. Impatient. Yeah, we're being very impatient. Well, we had a press release on CYN this morning, and it went up 70+% so far. But it's waiting for that 100% mark to get hit, but it's going to be a little bit, I think. It's going to take us a little while to get up there. It's going to take us a little while. Victoria, good morning. Everett, good morning. So now we've got to wait for the next round of press releases. Maybe something will squeeze in between now and 8 o'clock. It's always a hope. Eric, good morning. Good morning. It is a cold one in Florida. I am in Central Florida, and it was 29 degrees this morning. 29. 29. That's right. It was cold. Cold, cold, cold. Too cold for Florida, in my opinion. I think that's just too darn cold. Too darn cold. Oh gosh, I don't have my didn't put my Momo up this morning. Better get that on. Gotta have Momo. I'm in Zephyr Hills, Byron. Zephyr Hills, Florida. And which is just a little northeast of Tampa. And it was 29 degrees this morning when I stepped outdoors in my hoodie and my jacket. What makes that crazy is that it was 84 degrees 2 days ago. The weather has just been wacky. It's been a wacky one. Let's take a look at new. New is starting to push back up again. NUWE. We had some good trades on that one this morning. Beautiful jump up this morning for those of you that caught it in early pre-market. We always talk about that early pre-market being so good sometimes. And it's got its days. Some days it's great at that 4:30 in the morning. pre-market can be amazing sometimes. And sometimes it's pretty boring. There's not much going on, but every once in a while, and it seems here lately, more times than not, there's been some really good runners. NUWE, gosh, what a blast up this morning in early pre-market from mid $2 range, well over $6. I mean, it was just beautiful. It's still up 151%. Just makes getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning worth it sometimes. Yeah, RDW was another good one this morning. Press release came out on them. Went from like $10.98, so we'll say $11, and went up to almost 13. It got up to about 12.84, somewhere in that neighborhood. So nice run up on that one. Wasn't a huge percentage run, but dollar wise, it was a nice jump. That was pretty cool. But we're going to wait till 8 o'clock here to get the press releases at 8. Maybe something will pop up before then. We'll keep our fingers crossed. CYN, of course, as I mentioned, was a nice one. It's in a little bit of a pullback at the moment. It's getting quite a sell-off going on there. Nothing on the micro floats this morning, though. I haven't gotten any. The only news I've gotten on micro floats was bad news. The stocks are all down 4 or 5%. So we'll just wait here and be patient until 8 o'clock. I hope you guys are having a good morning. Terry, good morning. Any gold ETFs? No, not off the top of my head. I'm sure I could do a little research and find something that looked pretty good, but not off the top of my head. I get kind of zeroed in and focused on the pre-market runners, and I don't pay a tremendous amount of attention to the market overall. I get more zeroed in on what's in front of me moving right now in penny stocks. GNTA had a nice run up this morning too. I think it got up to about 90% this morning on a press release. So it moved up real nice. It's definitely pulled back though. It's only up 34% right now. Terry slept in a little bit. Well, that's good, man, especially this kind of weather. It's good sleeping in weather. Mark, good morning. Good sleeping in weather, that's for sure. It's up to 34 degrees now. So we're just a little above freezing at this point, which seems pretty wild for Central Florida. All right, not seeing a whole lot here. Not at the moment. CYN, I don't know if that one's going to recover off of that pullback or not. That was pretty hefty. That pulled down from $3.68 down to $3.10. That's quite a drop. I don't know if it's going to have what it takes to recover. It could. It could. I wouldn't bet money on it, though. Wouldn't bet money on it. Pinky, 1144 to 1264. An RDW. Good deal. Good trade. Good trade. It's always nice when you can pull a good dollar a share off of something. At least $1 a share. Those are nice. CYN trying. Eight feels like -7. Oh my gosh. Boca Raton. 49. Wow. Mike, that's cold down there. That's cold. It is. It's only 32 here. 34. The feel like temperature right now is 24. A little bit of wind out there. And the feel like temperature is 24 in Florida. Central Florida, not in northern Florida. Down low Florida, mid-state. Feel like temperature is 24. So that cancel your vacation plans. You don't want to come down on vacation down here looking for that warm Florida sunshine because you ain't going to get it. -15 feel like in Ohio. Oh, geez. That's crazy. Oh, gosh. Unknown. Now I know why your name is unknown, because you don't want anybody to know who you are. One and only Vicky, good morning. It is chilly. Boy, there's some hateful people out there, isn't there? YouTube's full of them, man. YouTube is just a whole nother level of crazy people. I'll tell you what. They are some nut jobs, man. There's some crazy. It's 12 degrees in Gurnee. High today is going to be 12. Amber in Ohio, it's 8. Lowest is -4. Wow. Some nut jobs in Minnesota, too. Yeah, it's all those young guys sitting in their mom's basement feeling pretty brave when they're behind the keyboard. Stocks and weather. All the weather updates. Yeah, this is stocks and weather updates brought to you every morning by the Wolf Pack. All right, we've got about 10 seconds here. $70 in Southern California. Oh my gosh. I wish I had some of that. All right, let's see what we get here. RR. Rich Tech Robotics collaborates with Microsoft. to advance agentic AI in real-world robotics applications. That's on RR, Rich Tech Robotics. ASBP, Aspire Biopharm files a provisional patent application to address gastric bleeding risks. ASBP. $2 million public float. HIND, independent analysis values, $1 billion upon successful completion of a phase 3 study. HIND, 1.5 million public float. NTLA, announcing FDA's lift of a clinical hold on their Magnitude 2 phase 3 trial. HIND that I gave you just popped. Let's take a look at it real quick here. Let's take a look at it. My, oh my, oh my, 133%. On goes the hat. My goodness. $3.12 to $7.43 on that press release. My goodness. All right. HIND. And now it's coming down. That was a quick up and a quick down. Now we've got that NTLA. Let's look at that one. That was the one that had the FDA lifted the hold on their phase 3 clinical trial. It has gone from $13.95 on that press release to currently $16.41. Not bad. Up she goes. Not bad. Let's see. What else? What else was there? We got CYN. Let's take a look at RR. I think that was one of the first ones I gave you. RR, that one's gone from $3.89 to $4.70, and then a pullback. We're currently sitting at $4.60. It's up about 20%. Let's see if that HIND climbs back up again. It's back up over 100%. Now back down below 100%. So it's going to float around here a little bit, looks like. RR up 23%. It's at 469. Okay, 475. 477, 478. Finley James got Hind, Hind, 566 to 706. Nice trade. Nice quick. I like those. Nice quick trades. RR still trying to push up. HIND coming down. Let's look at that NTLA. NTLA, that was the one with the lift of the clinical hold from the FDA on their phase 3 trial. We've gone from 1395 to 1680 so far. Let's see if it's got any more in it. RR's hanging on. So we've got NTLA, RR. And we're going to see if HIND can recover. Beautiful, beautiful pop up. Hercules. I'm reading off press releases. Not seeing anything yet. Let's look at NTLA and RR. Yeah, I kind of thought that RR would go up a little higher than that on that news of collaborating with Microsoft. It's a hands-on joint development in Microsoft labs to develop and deploy agentic artificial intelligence capabilities in real-world robotic systems. So I thought that might get a little bit better jump than that. It's not done yet. It might still show off a little bit. Let's hope it does. Let's hope it shows off. Hind trying to survive, pushing back up. It's back up 91%. RR's hanging in there. So all three of those press releases so far hanging in, looking decent so far. Come on. I'd like to see that RR get itself up over $5. HIND back up 98%. Nice recovery there, by the way. That dropped to $4.91 on that pullback and pushed back up to $6.40. That was a nice dip buy right there if you got it on Hind. HIND. Wow, what a nice push back up. 491 back to 677, 680. Not bad. Back up now 108%. RR's hanging in there. NTLA still hanging on. It's good. Good to see him hanging in there on those press releases. JZXN going sideways. HIND over 100%. NTLA got a little bit of a pullback. HIND up 114%. Rich Tech Robotics. Come on, baby, push. I want to see that thing break 475 again. Randy got HIND from $5.32 to $6.58. Nice trade, Randy. Nice trade. Not looking to fall in love with these stocks. We're just here to trade them quick. Get the press release. Make a quick trade on the press release. Jump out. 125% now on HIND. We're not looking to fall in love with them, that's for sure. Come on, RR. I know RR can do this. The float's a little high. It's got an 87 million public float. Not crazy about that. I wish that was a little bit lower. But it's got a pretty solid press release. Kathy, 588 to 688 on HIND. Good trade, Kathy. Nicely done. Robert, 556 to $7. Wolfpack is eating well this morning. Once again, look at HIND, you beautiful SOB, up 137%, 142%. Boom. 754. $3.12 when that press release hit. And we read it out to you, just hit 754. Wow. Let's see it break at 750 again. Those are fun. Those are a lot of fun. Byron got RDW from 1160 to 1284. Pulled a solid $1 a share off of that. Nicely done, Byron. Dave, 266 to 315 on CYN. Good job. JR got HIND 420 to 659 and 510 to 750. Beautifully done, JR. Scott, 540 to $7.32 on HIND. Now you see why we like trading on press releases. Amber, good morning. FLGC, it's a little micro float. FLGC announces a name change to Zero Stack Corporation, furthering its strategy as an AI-focused asset management company. It's up about 16% on that press release. VCIG Microfloat announces transformation into an AI native operating platform with modular plug-in business model. VCIG Microfloat. Let's see, what else can we throw out here? Hyper, HYPR. Hyperfine announces publication of breakthrough clinical data demonstrating the Swoop system's enhanced stroke detection capabilities. All right. So far, that's about it. Hopefully, you guys, some of you made a pretty decent trade there on HIND with any luck. And maybe with RR, if this thing ever decides it's going to head the other direction. Distribution per share level increase. VCIG that I gave you, that one is a micro float. It's really all over the place. It's not moving the greatest. It's up about 10%. Not moving the greatest. Now, HIND is getting pulled back down. Now, we pulled back down here once before. It pulled down to $4.91 before it ripped back up to $7.54. So I won't say that this can't recover because we just watched it do so. Boy, it's going to take some volume. Now, RR, not doing too much there. Let's take a look at NTLA. NTLA had the same problem, pulled back, trying to recover now, back up to 1606. ASPC. ASPC pushing up. NTLA just filed a SEC Form 8K. That was for that lift of the clinical hold. So we already knew about that one. We already knew about that. ASPC ran from 1488 here to 1950 very quickly within 4 minutes. And now it's pulling back. It's back down to 1750. It's getting a big sell-off here. NTLA still hanging in there, bless its heart. RR's getting pulled down. I would love to see HIND recover off of this drop again. That would be so cool to see it run back up another $2 after a big drop. It went from 491 to 754, 757. And now it's gone from 520, where it bottomed out, back to 560. So it is trying, but it'd be neat to see it blow back up over $7 again. It'll take quite a bit of volume to get it up there, though. All right. All right. Well, that was it for 8 o'clock round of stuff. Had a couple of good ones in there. HIND for sure. Beautiful 130% run on that press release. So can't complain about that. And maybe 8:30 will give us a couple of more. Yeah, that ASPC, that popped really hard there. It from 4 minutes, it went from 1487 to 1976 in 4 minutes. Now it just dropped back down to 1581. It's trying to push back up again. Be interesting to see if that goes back up again. Okay. Oxford subsidiaries, 2026. Nothing. All right. Well, that's going to be it for TikTok this morning. I got to put on my hat at least once this morning here. You guys have a great trading day. We'll be on at 4 o'clock again on Zoom. You're welcome to join us on the website through Zoom. And until tomorrow, you guys have a great day. It's been fun. We're heading over now to YouTube, Traveling Trade Adventures. That's the channel on YouTube. We're going to do the 8:30 press releases over there and the 9 o'clock press releases. If you want to stick around that long, we'll give you those. So Traveling Trade Adventures on YouTube. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Keep them green, please. Keep them green. All right. Are you ready for this? I don't think you guys are ready for these numbers, man. I don't think you're ready for these numbers. Buckle up. Yes. Everybody sit down. Take a seat here so you can. I made 5 cents. Oh, God. 5 pennies. Good Lord. Got that hair. 5 cents on TikTok. All in a day's work. That's right. Whoever said there wasn't money to be made on TikTok didn't know what they were talking about. NTLA trying to push back up. Yeah, old Jeffy boy's getting rich on TikTok. Green is green. That's right. I like your thinking. Green is green. It all adds up, right? NTLA trying to go back up. Oh, excuse me. Where did the pennies go? I don't know. TikTok keeps it in your account. When I make like 5 cents, and then 8 cents, and 3 cents, they keep it on account. And after it builds up, I think it has to be over 20 bucks. Once it gets up over like $20, then they send it to me. NAMM busting up. NAMM making a move. Hitting Momo scanner. Let's see. LSTA just filed an 8K. Let's see what that's all about. They entered into a mutual termination agreement relating to the exclusive license and collaboration agreement between the company and Qilu related to research, development, and commercialization. BJDX announces a 1-for-4 reverse split. We just hit 532 on NAMM. For those of you following along on Momo Screener, look at that climb. Looks more impressive than it actually is, but it's still a nice looking run up on those candles. HIND getting pulled down pretty hard here. NTLA tried to recover, got back to the upper 16 range. I guess we're going to see what we get here at 8:30. Come on, 8:30. ONDS, my little swing play there. They're going to be presenting, looks like, hosting a UXS showcase. ANIX receives notice of allowance from Mexican Institute Industrial Property for a patent covering breast cancer vaccine technology. It's on ANIX. NIVF microfloat to execute up to $2 million share repurchase program. NIVF microfloat. OSRH completes the Worry.io acquisition, secures long-term shareholder alignment, and reviews strategic combination of medical device subsidiaries. PRZO expands their European footprint with new reseller agreement and an initial order from Defend Air from a second key NATO country. It's on PRZO. NTLA looks like it's going to break back above 17. If this little tiger doesn't slow down, it's going to break 17 here. It looks like it's really trying. NAMM also trying to push back up again. NIVF now up 18% on that share repurchase program. Now it's back down again. Those microfloats are all over. Looking for nothing yet. NTLA looking for that break above 17. NTLA. NIVF, man, it's bouncing around like crazy. Up 20%, 22%, 23%. Can't quite make up its mind which direction it wants to go. Let's see. Hang on a minute. Let me look that up. Yeah, VCIG took a jump on the press release, but just too many sellers, way too many sellers. There are not enough buyers, just not enough volume. It's just not getting any attention. That's the nuts and bolts of it. Let's see. Let's go back and look at NTLA trying to get over 17. I think it will. It looks like it really wants to. NAMN might break at 525 again. Rich Tech Robotics, RR, trying to pull up somewhat. HIND trying to curl back up. It may not be done yet. New NUWE, unfortunately, if you look at this from 7 o'clock, it's been on a steady downtrend ever since 7 o'clock. Early pre-market obviously was the big play there. RDW really trying to push back. PL. Looking for something here. Just not getting any good press releases yet. Not getting any good ones here. Waiting on NTLA to bust up over 17. CYN, RDW, IVF. Let's take a look at that one. IVF starting to move up. Big jump on that one. IVF. IVF. SKYQ. Unlocked strategic value at 5,000 barrels per day, Foreland Refinery, and completion of a high impact system upgrade. That's on SKYQ. $0.42 stock, 19 million public float. NTLA, there's that break above 17 I was waiting on. Boom. 1723. IVF, I don't see any news on IVF, but it is going crazy here. Let me scroll down through, see if there was something I missed, but I didn't see any news on IVF. But it sure, yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. MTech, MTEK, Maristech receives a follow-on purchase order for intelligence gathering application. Yeah, this IVF, man, it just jumped from $1.31 to $1.99. Not sure what's going on there. We'll keep an eye on it. It's up 51%. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Boy, that poor little NTLA jumped all the way to 1724 and then got pulled back. Let me look at that SKYQ. Yeah, it's coming back down. Quick little pump and dump on that one. Let me check that MTech, MTEK. No, not getting any volume. Boy, we not getting much to work with here. Not getting a lot to work with. I've got on scans, I have IVF at a 1.5 million public float. So either way, it's a low float, either way. I guess I'm just going to have to be patient again and wait for a good press release to jump up. Terry, good morning. Yeah, it's been somewhat slow. We've had a couple of surprises that ran real good for us, like Hind, HIND. A couple of quick surprises, but nothing that's really been anything to brag about. Nothing that's really, especially on a press release. There's been a couple that ran without press releases, but in terms of press releases, it's been kind of slow. But the morning's not over with yet. We still got time. And we've learned that lesson. When you least expect it, when you're sitting back being patient, one of those things comes out of nowhere and lights everybody up. Trapper, good morning. IVF trying again. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button on Traveling Trade Adventures. I appreciate it. ERNA, ERNA, selected as one of only 10 global companies for prestigious JETRO Japan Entry Acceleration Program, whatever that is. It has a 2.6 million public float. Popped up about 10% on that press release. $2.6 million float. They are an industry innovator developing novel cell therapies for the treatment of advanced cancer and autoimmune diseases. And they're going to participate in the Japan Entry Acceleration Program, a highly competitive initiative launched by the Japan External Trade Organization, or JETRO. Let's see, MTech. Gonna have to get that good press release before we can do too much moving here. IVF pushing back up again. So is NTLA. That one's back over 17 again. Yeah, a new high here on IVF. Boom. HUBC, which is listed as a micro float, HUBC. They got a letter from NASDAQ saying they're not currently in compliance with NASDAQ's listing rule, which requires the company to maintain a minimum market value of listed securities of at least $35 million. No volume, nobody's touching it. So just wanted to point it out to you since it was a micro float. NATL pushing, IVF pushing 211, 212. IVF up 75% now. Holy cow. That's really getting pushed. Look at that thing go. So whether it's a micro float or it does have that 1.5 million float, it's got a low float. So it's getting really pushed up pretty easily. It's got really good volume though, too. 12.5 million shares so far. Hopefully somebody's making a good trade on that one. I'll bet Rick is. I'll bet Rick's all over that thing. Mutter, are you on top of that one? I'll bet you are. NTLA getting ready to make a new high here as well. We had 724 as a high, and we just hit 722. Come on. I take that back. We had a high earlier of 1750. when the news first came out. It spiked up crazy. Up 74%. Scott's in at 177. Keep them green. Wow, I wonder what that IVF's got left in it. What a rip. Nice little climb. SATL put out a press release. It was actually a SEC filing, Form 424B5. It's an offering. Looks like a direct offering. At $4.73. Stock's at $4.87 right now. Looks like they're going to be selling 7.3 million shares of their Class A common stock. IVF, come on, push. All right, well, I guess 9 o'clock could be one that gives us that big press release, I hope. I don't like that we've only had one big massive runner here on news this morning. But we did have those real early pre-market runners. So that helps for everybody that was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. My alarm goes off at 3:30 in the morning so that I can get that scanner turned on Zoom at 4 o'clock. Oh, and I feel it. I tell you, getting up at 3:30 in the morning is for the birds. But you got to do it if you want those early bird specials. You got to do it. We like those early bird specials. I know Mark does. Mark likes those early bird specials. I know Terry's usually up for those too. FRSX. Foresight, iNet, and SoftBank advance a strategic V2X collaboration in Japan to boost road safety. Okay. Well, it's up 8% on that press release. FRSX. 97 million public float. Kind of a fluffy press release. Got up at 4 a.m., sold SLV right back to bed. Mine goes off at 3:30 just because I'm old. I don't like getting up at 3:30 in the morning. I'll be honest with you. That's a struggle for me. Because I like to stay up late. I'm a late night TV watcher. I like to watch movies at night on Netflix or wherever. And I could stay up till midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning watching movies. And I love doing that. But when you have to get up at 3:30, you can't. I can't stay up that late. So I have to force myself to go to bed at 8 o'clock or 7:30 or 8 o'clock just to be able to get up at 3:30. And I don't like that. I don't. Yeah, I just don't like forcing myself to go to bed early and forcing myself to get up early. But you got to do what you got to do to get done what you got to get done, right? Those early morning trades can be insane good. If you're up at 4 o'clock and you've got a scanner that you can see what's moving and how quickly it's moving, you can make some really good trades at 4:30, 4:15. You can make some really crazy 70, 80, 100% runs on some of that stuff. It's nuts. It is kind of nice though to get up that early, trade between 4, 4:30, whenever you can hit it, usually 4 until about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then be done for the day. And then you don't have to stare at the screen all day. You don't have to be in that crazy stock market hours when everything gets wild. But I kind of like that being done. By the time the market opens at 9:30, I'm usually done for the day. And I like that because then I've got my whole day to do whatever I want to do. And I like that. IVF is still hanging in there, still trying. NTLA still hanging on tight. Let me take a look. My ONDS looks like it's pulled down off of those low 11s back down. It's about 10 cent pullback there. So I'm still okay. Going to keep an eyeball on that one for a while, for a couple of weeks. That drone sector is getting really hot. It's already been hot for a while, but I think it's going to get hotter. I think it's going to get a lot more active. Let's see. Webull, Bull. Webull and introduces 0% commission trading on pro football big game prediction markets. It's on Bull, Bull, Webull. FTRK, Fast Track Group subsidiary, signs an MOU with Lean Branding to support global growth of K-pop groups. That's on FTRK. GameStop, Spruce Capital Management. Prioritizes CCCX, Earn Capital Growth, CD, too much USR rallies, KD, partnership with retail. BP. OM, ticker symbol OM. Next generation tabloid system receives FDA clearance. Second quarter launch is planned. That's on OM. They are a medical technology company, pioneering a first-of-its-kind technology to improve clinical outcomes in dialysis with less cost and complexity. They got clearance, 510 clearance today from the US FDA of its next-generation Tablo platform, designed to deliver enterprise-level security, reliability, and connectivity for hospitals, health systems, and home providers for dialysis. VBIX. VBIX. Quantum atom accuracy achieves significant results, introducing a novel atomic clock enabling high accuracy, robustness, and enhanced coherence timing. It's on VBIX. 5 million public float. And that was all we got at 9 o'clock. Didn't get any micro float news. GNTA starting to curl back up again. That was a big popper off this morning in pre-market, early pre-market. That was one of those early pre-market stocks we were talking about, running up so nicely. Don, when I traded real heavy, I traded pre-market and I traded into regular trading hours. I worked second shift. So I had to start getting ready for work about noon because I had to be there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I would start trading. I usually was up around 6. I usually started around 6 o'clock. That was when I could drag myself out of bed. So I'd start about 6 and then trade until about noon, and then I was done for the day. Now, if I made my daily goal by 9 o'clock in the morning, then I was done. I didn't keep trading. Once I hit my daily goal, I was done. Didn't matter if that was 8 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. When I hit my goal for the day, I pulled myself out of the market and was done. Because I learned pretty quick that once I hit my goal, if I kept going out of greed, yes, I hit my goal, but I want more, I want more, I want more. I found myself putting myself into trades that I shouldn't have been putting myself into just to try to get more. And that cost me because I'd end up losing and then being underneath my goal for the day. And it was aggravating. So I learned that once I hit my goal, I'm done for the day. And that goal changed. I started out being happy. If I could make $25 for the day, I was happy. And then I increased it to 50 and then 75 and then 100 and then 200 and 100, 250. And I just slowly over time, as my trading got better, as I got more experienced, as I started figuring things out, because I was a total newbie, knew nothing about stock trading at all, nothing. But as I developed myself over years, now I'm not talking months, I'm talking years of developing my skills and getting a little bit better, understanding the market a little bit better, understanding pre-market, because that was where a majority of my trading was at. Once I started getting better, I saw myself making more, so I would increase my daily goal. And my daily goal increased from $25 when I first started to being into the thousands for a day. So it just takes time. It just takes time. You got to give yourself a learning curve. You really do. You have to give yourself time to learn. You can't go from being totally noob to trading to making thousands of dollars a day in months. You might get lucky if you got a lot of money to burn. You might get lucky on a couple of trades and do that, but the average trader can't do that. They don't have bucket loads of money to throw at stuff. So it just takes time, and you have to give yourself, and I may go out on a limb here, and I may have a bunch of people push back on this and say that that's not true, but I would say it takes years to get your footing. It took me 3 years to feel comfortable in my trades. 3 years. So if you're under 3 years, give yourself a break, cut yourself a little slack and say, hey, I've got some learning to do here. Don't think that you're going to learn how to trade in 6 months. You'll get lucky on a few trades, absolutely. But overall, it takes It takes a couple of years to not only know what you're doing, but then to feel confident about it. That's a big part of it, is feeling confident in what you're doing. And that takes years of practice. It really does. And I think the secret is, do you want to dedicate a couple of years to learn and give yourself a little slack and learn? Or are you not patient enough to do that? That's what's going to separate those that can stick around for the long game and those that try it. Man, it's not for me. I lost too much money. I'm out. You got to give yourself some time. And you shouldn't be losing a lot of money when you start anyway. I'll throw that out there as well. If you're new to trading and you haven't been trading for a year yet, and you're losing a lot of money, what you consider a lot of money, you're doing it wrong. You're putting too much money into a learning process. Your learning process should be on very small amounts. You should not be gambling big money, what you consider big money, on any one trade. You should never, there's no one single trade that should hit you so bad if it goes down that it takes you out of the game. If you're taking yourself out of the game on one trade, you need to stop. And that's a sign of someone who doesn't want to be patient. That's a sign that you want it all, and I want it now. And I'm going to take everything I got and put it all into one stock so I can make a ton of money because I want it all. And you're not giving yourself that opportunity to learn and give yourself time, give yourself that learning curve. If you're willing to give it a couple of years to learn, don't lose all your money. Just little trades, and learn and give yourself that opportunity. That way, when you do start feeling comfortable, you've got money to trade with. I see way too many new traders coming in and commenting and saying, "Man, I got destroyed on that trade," or that trade blew up my account, or whatever. You never should. Not when you're starting. Little bits, whatever you consider little. You might consider $100 a small amount that you can afford to lose on a trade. Somebody else could be $20. To them is a lot of money to lose on a trade. And honestly, when I first started, $20 was a lot to me. That was lunch and dinner for me at work. That was a big deal. So $20 to me, if I lost that, I was hurting. It made me feel bad. You have to go slow, man. You have to. It breaks my heart when I see somebody new that will message me and say, "Man, that trade killed me." The trade should not have killed you. If it's financially hurting that bad that you use that kind of wording, you've put way too much into something and you didn't know what you were doing. And you should never do that. You shouldn't do that. And that's why I always preach about cutting your losses quick. Cut them quick. Even if it's just a little amount to you, cut it quick. You got to learn. You just have to be patient with yourself, man. It will come to you. If you stick around long enough, give yourself some time, the good trading, the good money, where you see some noticeable profits and really can tell that, man, this is pretty cool, and I'm making some pretty decent change here. This is pretty nice. That will come. I promise you. If you stick around long enough, it will come. OM 224 to 250. Nice trade. You can't go out of high school and go to a factory and be the president of the company within a week. right? You would never expect that. You would never even assume that. It's the same way with stock trading. You can't come in the first week or first month, even the first year, and expect that you're going to be making retirement money, and making that kind of life-changing. Some people do get lucky. I'm not going to say that they don't. Some people get so lucky on their trades and they make a lot of money really quick when they first start out. But that will eventually catch up with them because they really don't know what they're doing. And eventually they're going to get bit really hard. So just be patient. If losing $10 on a trade hurts you financially, then you don't lose $10. Cut it before then. If $50 to you is a lot to lose on a trade, then don't ever let it go below $50 loss. Cut it. You got to cut that loss when it's at a point where to you got to draw the line. Say, that's an acceptable amount of loss that I'm willing to take on this trade, and I'm out. You got to know that number in your head before you ever take the trade to begin with. You got to know, I can't afford to lose more than $10 on a trade, because if I do, and I do it too many times, I'm going to break my account. So if you know already that $10 on a trade is your max limit, then by God, that's where you get out at. You make sure that's all the loss you take, and you don't take any more. And you have control over that. You can sell. Nobody's stopping you from selling. Just your own mentality, your own greed is making you hold on. But you got to know where that number is. And for some of you, it could be $200. Some of you might have a little bit more money than others, and you think, I can lose $200 on a trade and I'll be okay. And if that's the case, then that's where you draw the line. But for some other people, that might be $10 is where you have to draw the line. And that's okay. That's okay. Nothing wrong with it. You got to, you just have to be able to control your losses. I think a lot of success or failure in stock trading is about managing your losses. You learn to do that. You learn to cut it quick. You learn to manage that loss within an acceptable amount. And you're going to be so much happier. You're going to see your whole trading experience will be completely different. You've got to learn to manage that loss. That would be my number one piece of advice for any new trader. Manage your losses so they're within an acceptable amount to you. That's why you don't try to shadow trade anybody. If you jump in a stock because someone else jumps into it and you jump into it at the same price and the price starts to fall, they might have a higher tolerance for loss than you do. So they can let it drop and drop and drop, and they're still within their level of tolerance of what's acceptable to them financially, where you may not be able to let it. And if you're holding because person XYZ is holding, well, they're still holding, so I'm going to hold. They're still holding. Don't do that. if it drops, you get out when it's time for you to get out. You get out. You don't care about what anybody else is doing. I don't care who's holding. If it hits my spot, I'm out. Period. Sometimes you guys will ask me, Jeff, are you still holding? And if I am, you're going, oh, I don't know if I can. Jeff's still holding, but man, I'm down in the holes. I'm really in the hole here, but Jeff's still holding. You can't base it on what I'm doing. My level for risk, my risk tolerance may be a lot more than yours. Okay, well, we are at 9:22 this morning. We don't have any more press releases popping. I think that's all we're going to get today. HIND was the only one that really blew up or popped up real nice on a press release. We had a couple others that went up, 70%, pushed up in the 60s. We had a couple in pre-market, early pre-market this morning that ran up real nice. But it's been pretty slow here. Pinky, you have a great day. Steve, you have a great day as well. Yes. Be safe out there. Almost time to go. We'll be back on again. I'll be on at 4 o'clock again today on Zoom for everybody that wants to join. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button on Traveling Trade Adventures here on YouTube. I appreciate it. And if you'd like to join us on Zoom, you're more than welcome to anytime you want. You just have to go to our website and subscribe to live Zoom trading. It's pretty simple. And you can cancel that anytime you want to. And you don't need me to cancel. You don't need to send me an email and say, hey, Jeff, can you cancel you can cancel your own subscription right on the website. Go up there to the right-hand corner where your name's at, click on that. You'll get a drop-down box. And one of those boxes says like something to the effect of my subscriptions or my account. You click on that, and there's an option there to cancel your subscription. You can do it all on your own. Most people do. But every once in a while, I get somebody that didn't really put much effort into it, and they want me to cancel it for them, which is fine. I don't mind. Hope I haven't been too chatty. Not at all, Mark. We appreciate your input, brother. I think I speak for everybody on Discord and everybody in the Wolfpack that your input is highly appreciated. The message thread here on Zoom, that's what it's for. What good is a message thread if nobody's chatting, if nobody's using it? I highly encourage everybody to comment in the message thread. You see something running, you have an idea, you see something of interest, have a question. I may not be able to answer the question, but somebody else in the group may be able to. And that's one of the beautiful things about being part of a community of traders is there's always somebody that has more experience than somebody else in a certain area and can help out with answering questions, whether it be a specific trading platform. How do you do this on Webull, or how do you do this on Robinhood? There's somebody that's done it and can answer the question. And I encourage those people to speak up and try to help each other out. That is a beautiful aspect of being part of the Wolf Pack. So, all right. Y'all, we appreciate having you, my friend. Appreciate you showing up and supporting the YouTube channel. Very, very appreciated. And appreciate everybody who spreads the word through social media about the Wolf Pack and about Traveling Trade Adventures. And it's all highly, highly appreciated. Trust me. All right, YouTube, it's time to go. Market's almost open. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for watching our old live streams, watching the old videos. Really appreciate the support. I really do. You guys are awesome. I will see you tomorrow morning at 7:45. Same bat time, same bat place. You guys have a good afternoon. God bless.